Today we are once more going to delve into the world of pencil drawing, this time with a little bit of protection for my pinky finger in the form of a latex finger cot. The purpose of this is to mitigate some of the smudging from having my finger and my hand rest on top of the drawing as I work at it. Appeals is sponsoring this video, and I'm using the Mitsubishi 22 degrees of pencils that I unboxed not too long ago in a recent video, although I'm only using a couple of the pencils, mostly the 4H, a little bit of the 2H. I think in the last drawing there's three drawings, and maybe the HB, which is really right in the middle of the range, but it's the darkest pencil I'll be using here. I'm doing like three distinct stages in these three drawings. I do like some pre-sketching with the hardest lead, what did I say, 4H, 6H? The hardest one, I do like some sketchy, the light lines. I get sketchy and loose with it, kind of put something down, and then I come back in with the darker pencil to do some darker, thicker, heavier, oomphier lines. And then I come back for the third and final step. Actually, there's probably some more there's probably a fourth step where I just kind of use both pencils indiscriminately to kind of do whatever I want. It's kind of a free-for-all at that point. But the third step is to use the hard lead to draw some more fine lines, details, and so on and so forth, etc. I will say, credit where credit is due. I got a little bit of inspiration to go back into this pencil stuff. Because I'm not a big pencil guy. Like, I mostly do ink, but I went to the record store to look for a record. I was looking for the record Conk by the Kooks, and they didn't have it. So, look, I tried to support the local record store, right? I did my due diligence. I ended up having to order it online from who knows where. But next to the record store was a comic book store, game store, the type of store that would sell, like Warhammer 40K figurines and host game nights and stuff like that. I like going to those stores because they have lots of, comic books, graphic novels, and every now and then you see a cool book with some really cool drawings in it, and thankfully that happened this time. I saw a book called Lead Poisoning, the pencil art of Jeff Darrow, and I might be pronouncing that wrong. His first name is spelled Geof, so it might be Geoff, but I'm pretty sure it's Jeff because I think that's usually how it's pronounced. Anyways, if you're not familiar with that guy, he might be famous, and I've just never heard of him before. There are some incredible pencil drawings in this book, and so I just grabbed it right off the shelf, flipped through it, went over, checked it out, and the guy who sold it to me was like, he's like, you're a fan of this guy? I think he said, are you a fan of Jeff Darrow? So I think that is how you say it. And I said, I am now. And then he's like ringing me up, and I guess he thought it was an awkward silence because I was just standing there watching him ring it up. And so he said, yeah, it's called Lead Poisoning because it's all pencil drawings. I was like, yeah, I get it. But I didn't want to be that guy, who points out that you can't actually, I feel like I discussed this in a previous video already, that you don't actually there's no lead in pencils, and you don't get lead poisoning from pencils. Anyways, I said, thanks. And I bought it. I just bought it and left. I've been flipping through it. I haven't looked at all of it yet. It's a nice book. But it's one of those things where I get a little hesitant because it inspired me. It's just enough to get me going, to get my pencil moving, right? I'm afraid, I'm flipping through it right now while I'm talking to you. It's one of those things, it's happened to me before with Mobius, where I looked at too much Mobius art, and then I noticed that a lot of my art was looking maybe, I don't know if it's too much like Mobius, but it was looking noticeably like Mobius's art maybe, and it's not a bad thing. It's just personally, I just kind of want to do my own thing, I guess. Work on doing my own style or something. I don't know. But I just know that if I look at these drawings too much, that's the kind of thing that will fill my head, right? And so that's what will come out on the paper. I just wanted to look at it just enough to get my pencil started moving on the paper, and that's what happened. So I'm thankful for that. These are really cool drawings. I know I already said that like 10 times, but it just feels like a good addition to my bookshelf. I have some cool art books on there that I'm pretty proud of. I like my collection so far. Oh, also, a little update on the art contest. I'm running with appeals. Voting on all of those amazing submissions that you all have made has now officially closed. And next week, July 14th, the winners will be announced. Look at all these crazy, amazing pieces. These are just a few of the things that people have submitted. In fact, I'm blown away by the variety, the talent, the general incredibleness. So good job and well done, everyone that has participated. Also remember that you can go online and create your own appeals with your own artwork out of any of their available products. Just upload it, customize it, situate it, resize it. You can add like text and everything on there with their little customizer. Click the link right there in the description and make sure you use the promotion code FREEDOM right now for all phone appeals for 15% off. Go make you one, get you one, stick it, remove it, reuse it. And look into joining the creator program as well to earn commission on your art through appeals. What else happened? I did take a couple of guitar lessons. I know I mentioned that. I took two guitar lessons from this new guy. I think that's all I'll do for now. He's a cool guy. I liked him. I saw him. I saw him perform somewhere locally. But here's the main problem. I hope he's not watching this video because it's not really his fault, or I don't mean this as a personal criticism to him, but look, he has the highest rate of any guitar teacher I've had, and he's the third guitar teacher I've had, and it's $26 for 30 minutes, which is reasonable. Okay, I'm not complaining about the rate, but for that 30 minutes, I feel like I only get about 20 minutes of instruction. And even for that 20, and I mean that because his office, his little place where he gives his lessons is located far up in a building, on like the third or fourth floor of a building. And it takes 5 minutes to get up there and 5 minutes to get down. And he has to come down and unlock the door to let you in. And that starts at the beginning of your lesson, and then it has to come down and let you out. That happens at the end of your lesson. So that's 5 minutes you lose on either end of the lesson. And he has to do that. And you might say, why doesn't he just, let you down why don't you leave the lesson place, the studio, the room at the end? Because he has to come down in order to get the next person. It's just a lot of, like you come in the door, go down one hallway, turn right, go down that hallway, go into an elevator, wait in the elevator as it functions to take you up 3 floors. Then you go down one hallway, turn right again, turn left, go straight, go up some stairs, left, up some other stairs through a door, then you go left again, and finally, eventually you get to his room. And I feel like I spent, I don't know, what is that, like $5 worth of walking through a building every time? Anyways, I guess it's normal to want to get your money's worth. It didn't feel like it. And I got a couple of good pieces of advice from him. Anyways, I'm not feeling super stuck or demotivated on the guitar right now. Anyways, that's usually when I like taking lessons, is when I feel stuck and I don't know what to do or what direction to take, or just don't feel like playing anything because I don't know what to do, right? Also, speaking of music, lately while I've been walking, I've been listening to audiobooks and audiobook lectures on various classical composers. I listened to one on Bach, Johann Sebastian, and now I'm listening to one about Beethoven. Pretty interesting. I'm still a little bit difficult for me to listen to actual classical music. I know that makes me sound like a real Philistine, but it's nice to listen to classical music. I like it, but I feel like everyone says this, but it still just does make me sleepy to a certain extent. But the stories about them, I really am loving hearing their stories. They're like biographies, I guess, and stories about how the music was made. And I don't know, it's been very interesting. Well, I know I've noticed that a lot of people had the same names back then, even if they were not even alive at the same time. But I guess a lot of people nowadays have the same names. For example, there's Johann Sebastian Bach and Ludwig van Beethoven. Beethoven apparently meant beet field, Ludwig of the beet field. Anyways, uh, Johann was also Ludwig's dad's name, and Ludwig Beethoven's grandfather's name was also Ludwig van Beethoven. But look, get this. Ludwig, he had a father named Johann also, and that Johann had a wife named Maria Magdalena. And the other, Johann Bach, also had a wife named Anna Magdalena. I don't know, there's just a lot of weird parallels that pop up, but they're coincidences, I'm sure. Anyways, I gotta go now. I I don't have an excuse, but I do have an excuse. I gotta go. Okay, bye.